One variable that is used to measure the wealth status of individuals in different countries is the money value they get as remuneration for services they render. Africans receive the lowest minimum monthly wages when compared with other continents in the world. In this video, we'll be looking at African countries with the highest minimum wages in 2023. The list of African countries with the highest minimum monthly wage includes small islands like Seychelles and big countries like the Democratic Republic of Congo. Let's begin from the bottom of the list. 20. Liberia, $91. Employees in Liberia earn an average of $91 monthly. Some years back, the Liberian government passed a bill to encourage poverty reduction and the improvement of the welfare of both skilled and unskilled laborers in the country. 19. Senegal, $94. Senegal has an average wage of about $94 for about 160 hours of work. Workers in the agricultural sector in Senegal have good pay, unlike what others in the same sector receive in other parts of Africa. 18. Chad, $102. Workers in Chad earn minimum salaries or wages of $102 every month, and the number of hours they put in at work is less than that of Senegal and Ivory Coast mentioned earlier. Many Africans, especially French-speaking, who have been here had testified that the pay in Chad is quite encouraging. Let us know you find this video informative by giving it a like and sharing it with your friends and family. Also, subscribe to the New Tourist channel to stay up to date and join our community. 17. Tunisia, $110. In Tunisia, the minimum wage received by workers in various sectors of the economy stands at about $110 per month. They offer 48 hours of work weekly, and the industrial sector has an added advantage that at times its workers receive more than $110. 16. The Democratic Republic of Congo, $111. The minimum wage rate has been set by DR Congo's government at about $111 monthly, without including social benefits. The industrial sector in this country has some of the highest paid skilled laborers. 15. Mozambique, $112. The minimum wage received by workers in this country is $112 per month, and the public sector here has most of the highest paid workers. The number of working hours in Mozambique depends on the kind of activity and pertinence of the output. 14. Lesotho, $112. The minimum wage of workers in Lesotho was revised on May 2022. It was increased to $112 per month according to Business Insider Africa. Lesotho has a government-mandated minimum wage, and no worker in the country can be paid less than this rate of pay. Employers in Lesotho who fail to pay the minimum wage may be subject to punishment by the government. 13. Ivory Coast, $120. Wages in Ivory Coast vary according to the occupation of workers. The total number of working hours here ranges from 160 to about 200 hours per month. Workers in Ivory Coast receive an average of $102 per month, and there is higher pay for skilled construction workers in the country. The government of Ivory Coast increased the minimum wage to $120, taking effect from the 1st of January 2023. 12. Comoros Island, $125. In this country, there are several categories of workers who earn different amounts as monthly wages, but $125 is the minimum monthly wage of workers here. An additional 40% of salary is accorded for work on rest days and holidays, and another 40% of salary for overtime beyond 16 hours, up to 60 hours in a week. 11. Cape Verde, $132. This country has a government-mandated minimum wage, which stands at $132 at the time this video was produced. No worker in Cape Verde can be paid lesser than what has been stipulated by the government, or else sanctions may apply. The public sector of this country counts a majority of highly paid workers. 10. Kenya, $140. In 2022, the Kenyan government increased wage rates by 12%, and now, workers in the country earn at least $140 every month. The wage increase in Kenya, according to President Uhuru Kenyatta, was due to rising economic threats and the ravaging effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. Kenya doesn't have a single minimum wage, but rather several scales depending on what people do, their skills, and where they work. 9. Algeria, $150. The wage rate of Algerian workers was raised in 2020 for the first time in 8 years to about $150. Algerian unions and workers have been demanding the government increase the minimum wage rate. This has been due to what is described as the collapse of purchasing power and the depreciation of the dinar against foreign currencies. 8. The Republic of Congo, $154. This country's minimum wage rates are being fixed by the government, and so, if workers get lesser pay, their employers may face the law. As of 2022, the minimum wage rate for workers in Congo is $154 per month. The public and industrial sectors in Congo have a variety of workers who even earn more than the minimum you have just heard about. 7. Equatorial Guinea, $200. The minimum wage rate in Equatorial Guinea is $200. However, the country does not have a mandated rate for the payment of workers. Payment rates in Equatorial Guinea are usually agreed upon directly with employers through collective bargaining or other means of negotiation. 6. Mauritius, $240. Since 2021, average wages in Mauritius have been fixed at about $240 per month. The payment rate of workers here is done in accordance with government policy. Labor in Mauritius, just like in many other countries in Africa, is paid by looking at skills, the number of working hours, and productivity amongst several indicators. 5. South Africa, $242. South Africa is amongst Africa's best economies and is flooded with lots of high-income earners. The minimum monthly wage rate in this country is estimated at $242. Working hours and wage rates in South Africa were increased on February 2022 by the government, and all workers in the economy had to make adjustments to this. The next wage rate fixation is set to be implemented on March 2023. An increase in the national minimum wage that is above South Africa's rate of inflation will provide their workers with more purchasing power, which will be redirected into the economy. 4. Gabon, $256. Gabonese workers are some of the highest paid workers in Africa, earning a minimum monthly wage of about $256. Government workers in the country receive an additional amount of $34 as child allowances, transportation, housing, and family benefits. The law of Gabon does not mandate housing or family benefits for workers in the private sector. 3. Morocco, $281. According to Salary Explorer's survey data of 2022, the minimum wage per month in Morocco stands at $281 per month. It applies to workers in the public sector who do not receive less than this amount because it is government mandated. Workers in Morocco are currently benefiting from a 2-year wage increase of 16% and 10% made at the start of this year, for the public and private sectors, respectively. Next, 2. Libya, $322. This country's minimum wage is about $322 per month. The Libyan government heavily subsidizes the rents and utilities of its workers. The most paid careers in Libya are engineers and technicians, followed by workers in the domain of education. Different levels of experience, skills, and working hours also affect the wage rate of workers. We now take you to the African country with the highest minimum monthly wage rate in Africa. 1. Seychelles, $432. The minimum wage per month of Seychelles workers stands at about $432, and it is the highest wage rate for normal workers in the African continent. The salaries of people working in Seychelles vary among different job categories. The first 5 sectors in Seychelles with highly paid workers in order are as follows: administration, agriculture and food industry, arts and culture, banking, and the car industry. That is where we end our tour of the 20 African countries with the highest minimum monthly wage rates. We hope you had a nice time watching. After seeing the order of countries and the amounts workers get, do you think it is enough to make Africans reach a certain high standard of living? Can the average African's major problems be solved with the wages received? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section. Before we take leave of you, please like our video and share it with your loved ones. Also, subscribe to the New Tourist channel and turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss any of our content specially made for you. Thank you for watching and see you in our next video.